So this particular session is about how you do an analysis when you have the sample data presented towards you in Microsoft. Okay, there are a lot of. Uh, Let me tell you one more thing. Like there is a lot of methods by which you can do the analysis. Okay, I'm bringing in one of them. Whatever I've done previously, I'm just bringing in that particular stuff into this session. Um, Obviously, you know, as Excel people, as a finance person, uh, we try to explore a lot of new things when we start off with the working on analytics. Okay, so uh, what I'll do is let me just share my screen. Okay, are you able to see my screen? Yes. Please let me know if you are able to.
Yes, now we are able to see the screen.
Okay, all right. So this is a very sample data. Okay, don't get into the financial technicalities of things. Okay, it's just a very sample data, and this is like I just wanted to build up something which can be helpful for us to work on how to bring the things into the financial part of things. Like if you want to bring in the gross profit or the net profit, okay, and what would be, so you can see the subject line, like you can see my data. It has got the region, month, the account group, account, actual, and the budget. So being an FP&A, okay, I just wanted to bring in budget also, because what happens is we kind of to be on a very 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 financial line that I've taken. Everybody, okay, everybody works on a budget. For example, professors also do something called as budget for the month. Okay, so this is one of the budgets which I brought in just to understand how you can work on this. Now, this sample data has got October till February that is being added up here. Okay, and it has got components. So if I need to understand what are all my components, okay, I'll have to filter. So Control Shift and L, that's the shortcut for the filter to be brought in here. Okay, now what I do here is I can see that there is a COGS, expenses, and revenue. So you might be surprised. Um, you're telling about gross profit and net profit. Why is it not here? Okay. That is a method which I have to teach you, like how to bring in the gross profit and the net profit in here. Okay. So, ideally, as the data is like this, what we do is we kind of, particular data can be brought in with the pivot table. Okay. So today I'm going to teach you how to do things with a pivot table. Okay. Not many people know how to do it with a pivot table, but if you are well versed in pivot table, well and good. But I can, show you what are all the things that I have done in a pivot table, so that becomes a learning for all of you over here. Okay. So to bring in a pivot table, there are two, three methods by which you can bring in this data into a pivot table. One is going to the ribbon, which is the insert, and then click on the pivot table. Just click on that, and you will find the table range, and then give OK. Right? You have the uh, pivot table fields over here, which will be listed out here, and you can take it. Okay. The other thing that you can do is simply go to the function, just click on Alt. The moment you give Alt and then press N, okay, and then give V, okay, it will show you from table or range. You can just click on T, okay, it will take the table or range and then it will be done. Okay, Now, what I will show you here is this particular range. Okay, this this data. What I can do is what I'll do is I'll just add a few lines over here. Okay, just some sample lines from here
Okay.
into the difference below. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll go to this pivot. Okay. And what I can do is if I come here, there's something called as a data source. Okay. If you just click on the data source, if you see here the selected samples, right? Whatever I have currently, okay, it will show only the data which is selected till what I have selected previously. It doesn't add the rest of the lines which are over here, which is kind of a disadvantage for us. Okay, it doesn't help you in doing the analysis as a complete thing. So basically, what you can do is, what I'll do is delete the particular stuff. Okay, and then what I'll do is, I'll just insert and do a table formatting over here. Okay, the table formatting, what will happen is, if I give OK, my table has headers. Yes, obviously, region, month, account group, account, actual budget. These are all my headers. So what happens here is just give OK. It completely brings in as a table. Now what I can do is, in case if I have to add something over here, right? Like for example, if I just add this, okay? So copy and paste below. And still, if you go to this pivot, okay, like, sorry, I think probably what I'll do is I can first insert the pivot here, okay, and then what I'll come here, and then what I'll do here is I will add up the lines, okay. Now, if I come here, right, if I come here, my pivot table will completely take the table, okay. My entire table will be taken, the complete data range will be taken. So which means that whatever I add in below, right, it will completely get selected. I think probably what happens is like sometimes it doesn't recognize. So usually that table range gets recognized and you can just click OK and it will come in here. Okay. Now what I'll do is, so let me delete all the lines which are over here. Okay. Because that might not help us in doing the analysis. Okay. So, any doubts still here? Please let me know. Any doubts still here? Am I audible?
Yes, Ba.
Yes, sir,
Yes.
you're audible,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Fine.
Mm.
All right. So, what we'll do is now we'll do the analysis. Like, um, now we have got into the table right now. So, what we can do is let me just delete whatever unnecessary spaces we have here, and this is the table range. Now, let me get into pivot. Okay. So for me, there are two things that I'll have to bring in here. So my intention of bringing in the budget is bringing the difference between the actual and the budget. Okay, one. The second one is I'll have to bring in the percentage variance. Okay, so these are the two things that I'll have to bring in first. Okay, so I'll add up the variance. Okay, variance. So variance is actual. You can click here, insert field, or just, you can just go and give this as, budget, or just click on this double click on this, it will get inserted. Okay, and then give add. Okay, the next is the percentage variance. So percentage variance, let me put this as variance percentage, and it's actual, okay, divided by budget, okay, minus 1, because I need it in a percentage format, right? So I'll have to bring that in here. Okay. So, okay. It has brought in the stuff. Actually speaking, I wanted to show the sample PNL over here, which worked, but it's okay. I'll show it in the later stages. Now I think I'll have to bring it over here. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll just bring this particular stuff, which is account group, okay, and then the actual budget. Okay. Is that built up? I think what I'll do is just one second. Let me minimize the screen and the variants to be brought in below. So you can drag these kind of things wherever you want. Like, it is up to you to show the things over here. Okay. Now, this is already built up. Now, what is my next stuff is like I want to bring in the revenue minus costs and then the net profit. So what I'll do is I'll just get into this particular calculated item. Okay. And what I'll do here is I'll just do something called as gross profit. Gross profit. Okay. And then which is equal to revenue insert item minus the cost. Okay, insert item. Now once I do that and give OK, GP, okay, gross profit. So you will find that it's all in a different order. Don't worry about this, because the next thing that I'm going to show you is how to format these stuff into one cell. Okay, so don't worry about that particular stuff. That I'll do it for you. Okay, and then we'll have to bring in one more item. Okay, which is nothing but your net, correct? Net profit is equal to your GP, okay, minus your expenses. Am I correct on this? Yeah. Any questions, any doubts? Okay, that's also done. Now what I do here is, so this particular format, I'll have to bring it over here. Okay, what I do here is, so this one, okay. Now you will have to drag this revenue on top. So what you do is, there is something that you will have to understand, like there is this particular 4 arrow mark. You just have to drag it over here. Okay, just you'll have to drag it and bring it over here. Okay, all your revenue will come into one particular line. Then costs, you have it over here. The next is gross profit. Gross profit also the same thing you will have to do. Like you just have to drag it and it comes it over here. And then the expenses and the net profit, it's all aligned. Now, there is one more thing that you will have to think. Okay, at gross profit, I don't need this to be displayed. Okay, I don't want this because it's ideally not required for me, right? So I just collapse this button so that I don't have this particular gross profit explanations to be provided, and then also the net profit too. Net profit is also one thing which you don't have to do anything. So this is how you build up this particular stuff. And for me, over here, you will have to format these ranges. Like, if you have to bring it to something called as percentage. Uh, you will have to come here. Just 1 second. Somebody is okay. So now what I do is I just take it as a percentage style, and then I just kind of increase the decimal to so that it kind of brings a clear picture. Like this is how you could kind of bring the variance percentage inside. Okay. Now, once you're done with this, my basic understanding is that I've brought in my revenue, COGS, and the gross profit, and along with the net profit, everything is fine. But now, if I have to do the analysis, okay, if I have to understand, um, so for example, I have, what is my data? It's over here. It has region-wise split, okay. It has got a region-wise split and it has a month-wise split also. So what should I do next? Okay. So there is something called as insert slicer. I think a lot of people would have used this, probably, probably not. They wouldn't have used it also. So what I do is I just bring in a slicer over here and bring in the region over here. Yeah. No, so you will have to just arrange this because it's not something which comes in as a ready reckoner. Okay, you will have to do some kind of formatting and other things that you will have to do, and just drag it over here. So you just what you do is just drag it over here and keep it here. So now you can just kind of see that it's brought in my regions, that is Americas, APAC, and EMEA. Okay. And another slicer that I need here is like I just go to this particular insert slicer and bring in my months. Okay. Bring in my months. So here also what I'll do is I'll have to just add in few column related stuff so that it becomes easier. So just what I'll do is I'll just drag it over here and all my months, whatever I have worked on, right, should be visible over here. Okay. It shouldn't be that, okay. Uh, I'm not able to see this month. What should I do? No, you can accommodate it with your slicer settings over here. It's the columns that you will have to check and do to bring it into the correct format. For example, if I use, say, like this, right? That is also accommodatable, but it depends. Like, there is uh, a lot of months are there, so you can't add a lot of column related numbers. Okay, so probably the minimum that I can bring in is 5. So it depends on the length and breadth of your analysis numbers. For example, this has got only say how much 157 lines. Okay, it might be it's a very sample data. It might be somewhere around 15,000 lines, 20,000. I've worked on 3 lakh items, 4 lakh items. Okay. So not boasting myself, but as a financial accountant, not a financial accountant, as a FP&A person. Okay. You will have very large data that you will be working with. So, sometimes it just happens that you get a little overwhelmed on the data that you have received. You might not be able to understand what needs to be done there, and that is where you might need some help. Okay? So let me just bring it over here. Now, what I do is, so my motive behind why I brought in this particular stuff is, okay. So if I click on Americas and if I check for what is the October related numbers, okay. So how do you select this? Okay, let me just show you how to select. So you will have to click the region and you need the month, right? You will have to press control, and then go for the months. Okay. it clicks the October. Now I need February also. I can click on February also. Okay. It clearly shows me the February data as well. Okay. And how do you go to the original data? It's like you just have to clear the filters. That's and all your numbers will come back to wherever it has been in. Okay. It's a very simple tool, pivots, but obviously there is a lot of intricacies, or there is a lot of things that you will have to understand on this. Now, let me tell you one more thing. Over here, what you will have to do is, I don't want this row labels. Okay, so I can delete this off. Okay, and let me put it as a PNL view. Okay, you can name it anything. You can name it as anything. Now, sum of actuals, that doesn't mean anything, right? That's like uh, it's a layman language. Like, why sum of actuals? It should be actuals, right? So you can edit. Okay. Oh, already exists. Okay, fine. So it means actual number. Okay, I can give it as actual number. Then this budget number, I can edit this, but there is something called as, don't rename it as per the already naming the concept. So don't do that. Okay, and give it as budget number. Okay, and then this can be taken as variance. Okay, there's already existing. Okay, fine. Variance. So different, difference, variance, and the percent variance. Percentage. This is what is provided. Now what you can do is to even more better the stuff, put it as summary, okay? And then this would be your data, okay? And the sheet 4 is not required because I just shown you how the range can be taken. So it is not required over here. Okay. Now this is my data. Okay. Now I want to understand like your formulas, right? Whatever formulas that you would have done. How will I kind of understand what my formula was? If I need some kind of a changeover that I'll have to do on my formula, what should I do? Okay. So it's pretty simple. Go here. Okay, go to this particular list formulas. Okay, click on list formulas. You will get all the formulas over here. Okay, and you will be able to understand what is the formula that is being added up here. What is the solve order that I've given? So calculated field and calculated items are something which comes in pivot. A lot of many people don't know it. Personally, a lot of people don't explore this kind of stuff. But when I saw that, I was like, no, I should teach them this particular stuff. And then, I just thought I'll do that. And if you want to edit this formula, right, you just have to go to calculated field, okay, and then click on the arrows. Just click on the arrow, and you will get the variance percentage formula over here. Okay. If you want to modify, just give us modify and then make the changes. That's it. That will get modified and get saved. Okay. That's the same for the variance percentage as well. You can do that. And then for the field as well, for the calculated item as well. Okay. What I do is just click on gross profit. You have the revenue minus costs. You just need to modify it and then it gets done. And even for the net profit also, it's just you will have to modify the formula and then it gets done. Okay. So this is about it. Um, any Any other questions that you have on the pivots? So there is one more thing that you can do here. Okay. For example, on the data, okay, it depends on the clarity you have on the content. So a lot many people, what they do is, you know, um, they do all these things, but they say that, okay, sir, I want by account, okay, the region by account and the month. That is also possible. You can do that, right? You can just go here and you just have to go into this particular insert slicer and just go by account. Okay, click on account. The moment you get the account, you can just bring it over here and then just click on how many ever whatever column numbers you have, right? You just have to add in over here and it just gets done. You just have to align these stuffs and it is already done. So you just have to click over here. Now what I can do is, okay, now I want the net profit, okay, for Americas, okay, and then in the month of October, which is possible. It's pretty possible over here. I can bring in November also over here. Okay, I can bring in those things. It depends on the clarity that you have on the content. Like, what are the things that you would like to see, you would like to view on the financial analytics portion. Okay, and this particular sample data, whatever I have, right? It's something that I developed. Like, I just added up to bring into this particular session. But obviously, if you're working in a corporate, right, it's all readily available in the ERP. You don't have to do kind of, clicking on, the typing these numbers, bringing in the data, and nothing of that sort. You have it in the ERP. You just have to download it from there, and then the rest of the things, whatever analytics that you want to do, it is over here that you will be able to do. Okay? Yeah. So that's one thing that I have completed for this session. Any questions that you have currently? Um,
Any questions you can ask. So whether we can prepare any chart out of this thing?
yes, sir, it is possible. So ideally, what happens is like here on the pivot. Okay, uh, just one second. Yeah, there's something called as pivot chart. So you can click on this. Okay, and it depends on the chart kind of charts that you want. Like, if you want a bar chart to be brought in here, you can bring it. And the area chart or something of that sort. So it clearly recommends as to which one would be clear for you. For example, Stig. So you can see here, right? Like your revenue, gross profit, and other things. So it will clearly show how to bring in all the data into this. The line chart also can be brought in here where it clearly shows, but it depends on the person to person. Like, for example, I might not be working on a chart where I can show them that this is what is a thing that has come in. So probably what I can do is I can bring in an area chart and I can show them that this was my actual numbers, this is my budget number difference, and the percentage. Okay, it depends on the data that you work on. Like, sometimes a pie chart will help only when there is two or three data. It's not the complete data that I can take in over here to bring in the data. Okay. So histogram, I think the waterfall chart is one thing which you can do, but uh, this cannot be added up because it's a pivot table, so it cannot be added up here. So waterfall and all is the next level of things that comes in over here. So probably a simple line chart or some kind of a bar chart can provide all the data or the details which can be added up here. And there is one more thing that I wanted to mention. Okay, if you just come here into insert, there is something called as recommended pivot tables. Okay, have you ever tried this recommended pivot tables anytime around? Anybody? So it provides a lot of recommendations, like it clearly mentions. But as I mentioned previously, right? Like if I have to do something of a calculation, which is COGS, okay, revenue minus COGS, which is gross profit, and then the net profit. That doesn't help me over here. The recommended pivot tables. You will have to do this with the calculation that I showed you there. Okay. Or you can do it here in the data, but it becomes slightly little messy because you have by account split, which is over here, and the actual and budget. So my basic recommendation is if you're doing something of this sort, it's better you create a pivot and then do the calculated field and the calculated item, which is useful. Okay. So this recommended pivot tables are really, really good. It gives you the actual numbers by region, the budget by region, and also there is a lot of things that it provides you here. Okay, there are about, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, a lot of pivot tables can be created from here. Okay, so that is one thing. And on the latest version, okay, if you're having the latest version, there's something which comes in over here. Okay, it's called probably I should have that's in the office version, but it's not over here. Okay, this is a student pack that I have, but on the latest Microsoft 365, what happens is, like, you get the pivot table recommendations based on nothing of this sort, but you will have different 32, 33 pivot tables which you can create using that particular version. That is a Microsoft 365. Anybody has got Microsoft 365 on this call? Somebody has got Microsoft 365 package?
Yes, I think few of them are having. I am
Okay.
also
So
having.
okay, you're also having, sir. Sir, I think if you can just kind of try, I think there is on the right side, right? On the add-ins, there is another one more ribbon which would come in here. Okay. That actually helps. That will, give you a lot of pivot tables, but obviously it won't give you something called as COGS. That is a gross profit and the net profit. That is actually a calculated field that you will have to do it from your side. So, any other questions? I think so. I had mentioned it's a 1 hour session, but this particular thing, it can be done in, say, probably 35 to 40 minutes, but it depends on the kind of data that you have. It depends on a lot of variety of data that you should be having. So this particular data is just a basic simple data that can be added up here. But obviously, there's something called as this particular field items that you will have to use with the data.
Whether we can change this field?
The data, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you can, so ideally, it depends on the person to person usage. Okay. Uh, I can bring the region over here also. So there is no change here. Okay. Basically, it is just how I have taken the data. Okay. So for example, if even if I change it from here A to G, still I'll get the region. Okay. Or probably this is on a column wise number. If it is on a row wise, probably there might be changes where you will have to make the changes, but obviously you will get to this desired result. Any other questions?
Yes, now you can ask questions. And Vasankar, my question is regarding,
Hmm.
is there any other method to bring same thing in a data visualization manner to prepare this type of profit and loss amount?
Sir, as I mentioned, this is one of the methods. Okay.
Mm.
There is another method where you can bring it through a Power BI. So this gets loaded into Power BI. So there is something called as data and then get data. Okay. So what
Mm.
happens is I save this file into a different dump and then I come here and take a data and then I can bring it into the Power Query editor. So, Power Query is one more simple stuff, but Power Query is an advanced tool. Uh, you should bring in the relationships on this particular stuff and then kind of work on it. So that is actually advanced tool. Power Query. That's like uh, that's not simple, to be very precise. It needs some time because it cannot be brought in easily.
Yes.
Okay, so Power Query is there in, and also Power BI is also there. Power BI, what happens is you can save it over here in an Excel file, close it, and open the Power BI tool, and then you can get the data like how I showed here, right? You can get the data using this particular stuff in Power BI and from file. So it shows that it's an Excel file right over here, Excel work. So you can bring it from there also. You can generate that particular this particular data into that Power BI, and then it's even more simpler than this. To be very precise, what happens is you just have to add in whatever calculations are there. Just column wise, it gets added up, and then you can plug and play with the numbers. So that is one more method which comes in. So Power BI, how many people are well versed? Like Power BI, are there people who know Power BI over here? Or it's like we have heard it, but we don't know how to do it. Something of that sort.
Yes.
Okay, okay. It's pretty. It's a very powerful tool. We have started using in our company. All our data, whatever we are working on, is from the Power BI data. And there is one particular file that I work on. So I kind of give the budget variance versus the actuals to my people in the company using the Power BI data. So Power BI it's a tool which can be very flexible. It is very, very flexible, not like Excel. It's very flexible, but you need to learn it even more because there is a lot of nuances on that. Even a simple small step can bring a big difference in your file. So, it depends on how you learn it through. That's one thing I can tell you. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, audience, you can ask your question. Mm.
Let me stop sharing my screen. Yes.
Yeah, sir, you can.
Mm.
Okay. All right. So,
Participants, kindly rename yourself as we'll be taking the repo certificate from the bio list. I see one person with named as admin, so kindly rename yourself. Now it's time for questions. You can unmute and ask questions.
In this one, we are having a basic things, how we can create a profit and loss account and trading an account.
So, one thing that I can uh, tell you is, uh, this particular stuff which I have taught you, right? It's pivot tables are not many people know to calculate these things, calculate field and calculate item. These are these are some things which you know uh, gets used by people who are well seasoned or well versed with that. Okay, pivot tables doesn't uh, give you that kind of a clarity. Usually what happens is people what they do is they just bring in the data, do some kind of a analysis, and they say this is what it is, this is what it is. But then you have something called a calculated field and an item which can be brought in over here. Okay, that is something which is very special, and not many people know about it. Okay, but it depends on uh, the kind of data that you handle. Okay, a lot of people they just say that I did this, but I'm not getting it. But you will have to bring in the data in that such form that you can do it in that kind of a position. Okay, so that's how pivots work. Sometimes there have been questions where I've not been able to arrange this in particular format, like how I brought in, right? Usually pivot tables, what happens is it comes in an alphabet order. Okay. Now cogs, we know for sure that cogs is C, so it definitely comes on the first, on the top. Revenue is once again is R, alphabet R, so it goes down. So all of these you will have to arrange the data accordingly to bring in that particular view. So a lot of people say that we are not able to do this. What is the answer on this? So simply drag and drop here and there so that it kind of brings into that particular form that you are seeing as a finance person. That's it. That's the thing that you will have to do. Sir, I think you're on mute.
Yes, audience, now you can ask the questions. They have to practice. I think I'm seeing
Yeah,
one.
yes, sir. No problems. I think practice makes a man perfect. To be very precise, uh, not many people know that practice can actually help you a ton times, making you a better person. Okay, to be very precise, when I started off with pivot tables, I just saw that and I was like, okay, that's it. And then the next day, you just kind of forget everything, whatever is being taught. The next day, you are sitting fresh, like a student, and you just see, okay, what did he do? What was the thing that he taught me? So that's how you kind of realign yourself, saying that okay, we'll have to practice to see that things are being aligned to bring it better. Okay, there is a lot of people who on the first go say that yeah, we understood it, but then going forward what happens is they just kind of tend to forget whatever has been taught to them. That's the main problem with these kind of data. Okay,
Yeah.
it doesn't comes it comes by practice. By practice you will start knowing things. And as a person who is in finance, I've been doing this day in and day out. Okay, and that is why it's been a well versed thing for me. Not many people might know. When I joined as a student, okay, when I was in my MBA class, I didn't know to use Excel, to be very precise, to be very frank. I just knew, okay, this is equal to this minus this. That's it. That is the answer. That's it. That is the only thing that I knew. But then Excel became a very powerful tool only when I started learning it. When I kind of understood that, okay, these are the things that I can do in this particular Excel sheet. Okay, it looks to be very simple, but inside there is a lot of things that you can do. Okay, it every day is a development. Let me tell you that, and it's called as a mathematical book or a mathematical analytical tool. How many of you would have heard this? Like it's a mathematical tool. No, nobody would have heard about it, I guess. Okay, you can do any kind of calculations inside this particular Excel sheet. You can use lambda. You have trigonometry related formulas also there. You have all the formulas, whatever is required over there. But it depends on what is your data, how to calculate it, how to bring in the output. That's it. There are three steps that you will have to understand. What is my data? First, what am I doing? Second, okay, what should I do? Third is why should I do this? What would be my output on this? Okay, that's the thing that I have brought in here. So, what is my data? These are the things which are my data. Second, why should I do this? I'll have to some kind of I'll have to bring my gross profit, net profit. I'll have to bring the regions. I'll have to bring the calendar dates over here. So that is why I'm doing it. Okay, how can I do it? That's how I showed you that. So that these are the things. So before you can get into what needs to be done in Excel, if you process these three or four kinds of things which are there, right, your answer is there. As simple as that.
Okay, what you are doing in your organization, because students has to understand
Okay,
in
all right. So
corporates.
yeah. So a lot of people, I think, Bhuvaneshwar, you gave me an introduction. Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
let me tell you my experience as a finance professional. Okay. So
Sorry
first,
to interrupt you. And I
yeah,
have a question for you also.
yes,
Like
yes,
you
yes,
are in finance field. Now today we are having a like we are specified to take the specialization in MBA. So I'm in my first trimester. So
okay.
I'm confused either to take. I have taken a course MBA in business analytics. So I have to clear my
Uh,
first five papers in analytics, and I have to take dual specialization. So
okay.
I am having a full confusion, like whether to take finance or to take HR. So
I'll tell you one thing. Okay.
yeah,
So if you are in HR, okay, I have worked on HR budgets. Let me
okay,
tell you that. If you are in HR and if you are a finance person,
hmm,
okay, it's good. But
okay,
you will not learn more on the HR perspective. Okay.
okay,
Not flattering anybody over here. Let me tell you, finance,
hmm,
finance is a dynamic stuff. Okay.
okay,
You keep on learning. There is no ends to it. Okay. If
okay,
you are good in business analytics, right,
hmm,
you will be a right choice for finance.
okay.
Are you good at Excel or are you good
Yeah,
in
yeah. I'm in
financial
my
related
starting
stuff?
stage. I'm in my starting stage of
You
everything.
are in your starting stage, obviously correct, well and good,
Yeah,
but you should start learning things.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
There, what happens, the moment they tell you like, so do this, that's it. They'll just give you instructions and they'll tell you how to do it. They'll not spoon feed you saying, okay, do this. I'll teach you how to do it. No, nothing of that sort. The data is given to you. You have to understand what needs to be done with the data.
Okay,
Okay, that is one particular advice that I have for you.
okay,
So, finance and HR, HR, I have not been working on HR. Let me tell
okay,
you one thing. But I have worked on HR budgets. I have spoken to people who are on HR. Okay,
okay,
I know even the head of HR to
hmm,
whom I speak almost on a monthly basis.
okay.
Okay. So, ideally, if your number crunching skills, right, are very good,
Yeah,
go ahead for finance. That's it.
okay.
That is what I can tell you. Number
Thank you.
crunching is one thing that we do day in and day out. Okay.
Okay.
The moment we see a number, right, we kind of freeze saying that, okay, this number looks odd. What is the
Hmm.
issue with this? So we try to investigate what is required on that.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
And 99% of our analysis gets
Mm,
right there.
okay. Yes.
So it depends on the way you, work.
Okay.
So the, obviously you need to have that experience. Okay. So I can't say that being a fresher, as a fresher myself, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I went in and I was like, it was like no man's land. Like,
Oh,
what is happening? I don't know what is happening here. I don't know. So it comes in with experience. So one
yes.
or 2 years you might find a difficulty on facing things, okay, facing the actuality of what is happening inside the
Happening. Yeah,
organization.
exactly.
But then once you start knowing things, right, then it's like, the moment they say something, right, you kind of
Mm-hmm.
connect. Okay, this is what would have happened. Please try to do this and it'll get corrected. That's it. Simple as that.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you,
Gilbert,
sir.
I
what are
hope.
all the
Yes, sir.
software you are using in your company for
Okay.
this type of accounting?
So we use the ERP called NetSuite. Okay. It's developed by Oracle. Okay. But it's not Oracle, to be very precise. It's called NetSuite, and uh, what has happened here is like, the ERP is developed in such a way that we kind of get all the numbers into that particular NetSuite. Okay. Even if I have to receipt some items, right? I can do it using the ERP software. Okay. I don't have to depend upon something else to bring in the data. So it's one power package which they have given us. And even I told you, right? Like I don't have to list these kind of items. I just have to go and download, and things are already in. All my GP, net profit, everything is already in. Okay. This works only when you don't have a very powerful tool or an ERP, and you kind of say that, okay, something is not there. I'll have to do something of my sort. Then it is Excel that you will have to depend on. One is that. The other thing is, apart from ERP, we are using Power BI. Power BI is one analytical tool that we are using currently now. So what happens is, day in and day out, we download all our data from Power BI because that's a dependable tool and do the analytics there. So, for example, if there is a headcount change on one particular region, we want to understand why there is a change. I can go into all ERP, means my ERP related things in Power BI, and it gives me all the data over there. So that is one thing which we have built uh, successfully over the years. I think probably we have been using it for the past 3 4 years, and it's developed by one of my mentor who was focused on bringing this into the organization, and he has saved a lot of millions, to be very precise, to the organization. So that's
Okay.
one thing which has happened. And yeah, there are a lot of other expenses tool also is there. So this is called Conquer. So this what happens is, like, people who travel all around, right? Um, People who travel to different locations or different destinations, what they do is they uh, put their expenses into this account, okay, and it gets integrated. So there is something called as integration between the expenses tool and the ERP tool. So it gets, the integration is done probably every 1 hour or so, 1.5 hours. It gets relayed. So it gets done through. So these are the things that we do in the organization.
So that means it is a real-time data.
Yeah, it is. It is absolutely a real-time data, and we don't have that slag or a delay in the data. Usually, it gets easily done through. But whenever we have an issue, right, on the cloud, so that's when we kind of go back and do a little bit
Okay.
of
So
work.
whether these type of accounting softwares will accept in different countries, different accounting standards.
Yes, definitely. That is why ERP is recommended to a lot of companies. It complies on different locations. Okay, even though I am in India working for India related, but I have US related, UK related, I have Middle East related, I have got APAC, which is Singapore, Australia, and all those which are coming into my. So then, data is globally accepted. There's no issues.
Okay.
All right. So, any other questions? I think, Bhuvaneshwar, you were asking about myself, right? Uh, Introduction. So let me tell you, I was in Krishna Arts and Science College when I met Baba sir for the first time. Okay, 2005 to be very precise. And I studied there till 2008. I was a campus recruit in Infosys. Okay, joined Infosys from 2008 to 10. I was part of the customer service for British Telecommunications. Um, but obviously, the result. Usually, there is something called as a vision or something called as a goal that you have in your mind, right? You will have to go to a different level. So that was not my cup of tea, to be very precise. So what I did was I did my MBA, University of Toledo, and then what I did was I joined the Auditors Association of Southern India. That's where I was able to teach 1,000 students, okay, college students. I was able to teach them in Excel, right from the basic till the advanced module. And then what I did was, I thought that, my revenue is not good there. The salary component, right? You will have to understand what your salary component is to live in this kind of a society, all right? So then I moved to the corporate field. Okay. I didn't leave my training. I did one training in the company where we work. That is Utopia. And then I learned what is AP and AR there, and then gradually moved to the GL team. Then I kind of understood that GL team is also something which I have learned. So these are the experience which I had, and I thought, okay, let me get into analysis. That's how I joined FP&A. Okay, FP&A as an analyst, FP&A analyst. Okay, and then I worked for hardly 9 or 10 months. I got a different offer uh,
Okay.
from from a company called Black. Okay, there I worked as a finance business professional. Okay, so finance business professional is nothing but you will speak, interact with the business people. Okay, understanding what is the sales pipeline that we have for the month. Okay, what can we kind of recognize as a revenue using the US GAAP, and how much we can do it, and then what would be my GP percentage on that month.
Mhm.
Okay, so I used to do that, and yeah, month on month. So I did for 1.5 years, and then I got Finastra. So the HR gave me a call and asked me, like, would you like to join?
Mhm.
That's how things happen.
Okay.
And I joined back FP&A, and now I'm taking care of one product related budgets, and one is a HR budget and other is the CFO budget that I'm taking care of currently. So these
Yes.
are the budgets that I'm currently taking care of, and yeah, things are going fine. So yeah, even the training sessions, uh, you know, um, I have a mentor who trains me on a lot of things. Apart from whatever I do on training basis, I also do a lot of soft skills related training from my mentor. This this is my
Okay.
experience overall.
Good to hear that, sir.
Thank you,
Great.
Kribashankar. I think participants, this is an expectation from the corporate side. I mean, from the corporate side, they will expect very quick. You can see how quickly we prepare the profit and loss account. Usually, in case of our colleges, it takes minimum 2 hours time to complete. But we must know how to bring these preparation of statements quickly, and we have to visualize that one. That is the requirement of the corporate. Usually we will stop by preparation of the profit and loss account and trading account, but it is not like that. We have to visualize according to the requirements of each and everybody. So that is what at present missing in academic side. That is why we call for the industrial side. So I think nice input from the industrial background. So thank you, Krupashankar, once again. Monday we will have a technical session. All are from the NSC Academy, so that the level of understanding we need something best. So try to practice the basic Excel as well as basic finance. What our Krupashankar told today, we have already shared in the group. You can try to work out from that Excel sheet, and any feedback you can post it in the group. We will get back to you. Monday the session starts by 6 o'clock. Thank you, Krupashankar. Over to Bhuvaneshwar for vote of thanks.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I'll say. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. As we come to the end of this enriching session on financial analytics, I would like to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude. First and foremost, I extend my sincere gratitude to the Almighty God for His blessings, which made this event a success. I extend my deepest thanks to our esteemed speaker, Mr. Kripa Shankar, for sharing his valuable insights and expertise with us. Your session has incredibly informative and has provided us with a profound understanding of the practical aspects in cash flow estimation using Excel using pivot table. I would also like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the management, Dr. Aloysius Edward, Dean, Faculty of Commerce and Management, Dr. Joseph Charles, Head, School of Management, and faculty members, and the participants for their active participation. Thank you, sir, and thank you, participants. I request everyone now to turn on your videos for the group photo.
Yes, audience, you can turn your video. You can switch on your camera.
Participants, kindly switch on your videos. Yeah, thank you, participants.
You are taking photos? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Krupashankar. Thank
Thank
you,
you, sir. Thank you so
participants.
much.
So
Thanks
Monday
all. Thanks
onwards,
for all.
okay, Monday onwards we'll have the session from NSC Academy with relating to the capital markets. Thank you. Thank you, Krupashankar, once again, Bhuvaneshwar,
Thank you, sir.
and my dear.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.